رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Respected guests, scholars, panelists, participants, I want to recognize all already established protocols. My name is Safia Ismaila. I'm from the University of Abuja, the Department of English. It's an honor for me to moderate this panel discussion. I want to first of all commend the organizers of this very important event, that is the Crystal Muslim Organization. Thank you very much. May Allah reward you abundantly. First of all, I would like to start by introducing our panelists. We have Professor Muhammad Bashir Muazu. Professor Muazu. Professor Muazu is a professor of computational intelligence in the Department of Computer Engineering at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. With over 30 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership, he serves as director of ABU's Distance Learning Center and director of the IIOE Nigeria National Center under UNESCO ICHEI, through which he has led award-winning digital transformation initiatives in higher education. He also leads the Huawei Advanced ICT Academy Support Center, hosted by ABU Zaria. His research spans artificial intelligence, computational intelligence, and digital learning systems. He was a member of the Presidential Committee on the National Broadband Plan 2020 to 2025 and is a recipient of the ABU Outstanding Performance Achiever Award in 2024. He has just recently led the Nigerian team ABU to win the A Innovation Grand Prize at the Global Finals of the Huawei ICT Skills Competition. I present to you Professor Muhammad Bashir Muazu. Our next panelist is Dr. Ashek Alhaji Madugu, who is a distinguished economist, academic, and seasoned public sector administrator with over 3 decades of experience spanning academia, government, and tax administration. He is currently the executive chairman of Dar al-Halal Certification Limited, Abuja, and a senior lecturer in economics at Bayes University. I'd like to welcome you to the panel, Dr. Madugu. Sorry, I have to read an abridged version of your citation due to time. Our last panelist is, Imam Hamdani Abdullah Yusuf. He's an economist, Islamic scholar, and community with extensive, is it free reader? With extensive experience in teaching, youth mentorship, and educational leadership. I got a bit confused when I opened the CV and I saw the length, and I have to summarize this and I don't know where to start from. His work spans, he is currently pursuing a master's in educational psychology at the University of Abuja, and he serves as imam and coordinator at the Abuja Islamic Education Trust, and he is the founder of Islamic Online Islamia of Nigeria. His work spans leadership development, ethical reform, peace building, and Sharia intelligence. We are delighted to have him here with us today. There is no doubt that artificial intelligence is transforming education, healthcare, communication, business, and even religion. We have been discussing artificial intelligence right from since yesterday here. So I would like to give each of you 3 minutes to give your opening remarks, and then I ask questions, and then thereafter we throw questions. We open the floor for questions from the audience. We have 30 minutes, so we have to be very time conscious. So I would like to start with you, please. 3 minutes.
Well, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I am actually glad to join. Like initially presented, today I also joined, though a bit late. We have been discussing from the essays written by the participants to the presentations made up to the last segment of the presentation we've had. I want to believe all of us can attest to the fact that artificial intelligence has come to stay, and we must all learn to accommodate and integrate it in our daily lives. In every field you may think of, whatever field you belong to, artificial intelligence is there. And how can you build yourself to be better, just so that to avoid the competition, the intense competition that AI is introducing. So I would like to implore all of us to learn how to live and adapt with artificial intelligence in order to find how to make our works easy and to also benefit from the ni'mah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to us. Inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I think it's a great pleasure being here, and surprisingly, after 20 years of CMO, this is the first time I'm hearing about CMO, and so I was absolutely surprised that I got an invitation to be here. But Alhamdulillah, and I'm here, and I think it's very important in the context of what topic is the theme of this year's 20th anniversary. And just like has been said all through, even the presentation by Professor Rashida, the talib by Dr. Mohamed Salah, I think it encapsulates the whole essence of where we stand as an Ummah today. I think it's important that we don't let this opportunity slip away from us. There are certain very fundamental issues with respect to AI, as rightly captured by Dr. Salah, but I think we need to look at the brighter side and where we stand as a community today. And I think one other thing that I also think we need to also try to understand in the context of the overall discussion is we must not continue to keep our eyes only on that aspect of AI that is generative AI, and that's what is causing a lot of the concerns today. But there are so many other aspects in terms of the physical implementation of AI, which also has some very troubling concerns for us going forward as Muslims. So in as much as we want to be very careful about establishing proper guardrails against some of those challenges about AI, I see very important issues that Professor Rashida raised, especially with respect to those issues in which we need to contextualize any technology with respect to the Sharia, the protection of life, protection of property, protection of wealth, protection of deen, and all of those, because we need to weigh any technologies with respect to how they affect our lives in those perspectives. So, but also from an educational point of view, and the fact that even if we look at the ethical issues with respect to generative AI, if we look at the ethical issues, we realize that they fundamentally are based on what every Muslim is supposed to understand with respect to anything, not only AI. Things, from an AI perspective, they will tell you every AI system must be built upon the principle of do good, do no harm, must provide justice to everybody, and now with respect to AI, it must be explicable. So it means that for every AI system, we need to be sure that we understand why it is giving us a response it is giving. We can only understand what the response AI systems are giving us if we understand the fundamentals, because yet again, AI systems can hallucinate. They can tell us exactly what doesn't exist. So those are things we need to look at with respect to those things we call generative AI. However, we also have those systems that are built on AI. Today, maybe a lot of people use glucometer, maybe a lot of people use medical diagnostic kits and the rest. All of these are based on principles. They all use AI. When you test your blood level sugar and you see a value, you take it that's correct. You take it like that, but that's AI. There's nothing about what it does is fundamentally against our religion, because we will take it as a tool. When we go to hospital, they will take our blood and they will go and run tests and tell us, but you take that device, it tells you almost a similar thing. However, if we look at where AI is moving to, that's where we need to be a bit concerned about. Because right now, anything you think of AI, we are still at the narrow intelligence level, the most fundamental, the most basic. We are looking at systems in which tomorrow or the day after, we're going to get general intelligence level systems that begin to have human level intelligence and even having superior human level intelligence. I think that's the part that we also need to be very careful, because we may be on the border of trying to assume AI systems have godlike structures. Subhanallah. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much. Professor?
Thank you. It is indeed a pleasure and an opportunity to be here. For me, as encapsulated in the presentation by Professor Rashida, AI is a destructive technology and has come to stay, transforming the way we operate as humans in the health arena, in finance, in business, in communication, as well as in the educational sphere. So it has come to stay, but as Muslims, just like it's been pointed out, what we have to look at it within the framework of the Maqasid Sharia, the 5 basic objectives of the Sharia, just as mentioned in the presentation. And for us, as Muslims, we have to look at it within the radar and its usefulness to the Ummah. It has come to stay, and as Muslims, how do we make effective use of AI in promoting the deen, as well as promoting our lives in the social sphere, in the economic sphere, educational sphere. And I think that is the fundamental thing that needs to be discussed as presented in the paper of Professor Rashida. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to start by drawing our attention to the fact that most of the discussions that we've had from yesterday up till now, we mostly try to look at how to harness the artificial intelligence so that we can use it judiciously as Muslims. But then, I want to ask the question, and I want to base my question on Hadith 6 of An-Nawawi's collection, where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Innal halala bayyinun wa innal harama bayyinun wa baynahuma umuru mushtabihatun," to the end of that hadith. Now, in relation to artificial intelligence, what do you think? I think we have some things that we can call umur mushtabihat, and that is those things that are not, yes, that are not clear. So what do you think are those things that are not clear in relation to artificial intelligence that we need to take note of as Muslims so that we do not, end up, doing what is haram?
Thank you very much for the question. I think, like you stated and related with the hadith, the first thing I would say is we should accept the fact that even though we have been saying and a lot has been said that AI has come to stay and it has relevance or direct bearing in almost all the fields, we should learn that AI is never a replacement for human being. We need to have some level of human validation. Of course, yes, it will pave a way, it will guide you, but you have to be strategic in how you fetch what is excellent and discard what is not. A lot of, lessons or examples can be traced to this. Recently, just last week, we were together with Brother Sheikh Nuruddin Lemu, and he stated something in relation to the question raised. AI is more of relying what prompt have you presented, and your answer is in relation to what you are able to articulate. So the need for us to be careful. I think one of the presentations here stated that there are some textual evidences sometimes that AI used to coin. When you check, you will never find such evidences existing. So the need for you to be careful. Of course, ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. This is ni'mah, blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, especially with this ummah, this generation. 50, 100 years back, they are not able to have, benefit from what we are enjoying now. The need for us to appreciate it, but at least regulate it, regulate the rate of usage or reliance on AI. It is not here to make us to be lazy or to fully rely on the existing AIs. We need to come in, we need to be deliberate in how we connect what was learned to what the AI is giving us as an outcome.
Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much. Any addition, please?
Okay, thank you. Like I mentioned in my introduction, I think it's important that we realize especially when we are focusing on generative AI, that's use of all these ChatGPT, cloud, and so on and so forth, in order to get data. Because it's important that we understand the basis upon which these things work. They can only give you as much as they have information they have available to them. When they do not have information available to them, they try to make up the information, and that's what's called hallucination for those AI systems. So mostly, and I think that's the part we need to understand as Muslims, and that's why I also talk about the next stage of the AI, when there's efforts to build AI systems to begin to have consciousness, because right now they do not have consciousness, they do not exhibit any element of human or processes. They are just at best predictive systems, and they are predictive systems not even in terms of the information they get, because yet again I think this is also something that is very important. It's more about content than context, because they don't understand context. Is what the AI systems are trained, a lot of data, and you train a system on those data, and when you ask it to tell you something about what it has learned, it tries to use language structure. That's why they are called large language models. So, and just to try to fix things together. So I think it's very important that no matter how these AI systems are, especially the generative AI systems, for us to know that they do not have any mind of their own. So no context, they're just predictive systems, they will only give you as much as what they've been trained to give you. If there is no information that they've been trained on and you ask them about something, they will hallucinate. So that's why they can give you fake Quranic translations or fake fatwas or fake hadith, because if you ask something and they don't have those sufficient information. So I think those are some kind of things that we need to be very careful about. We also need to be very careful about getting to the point in which we think that these AI systems can be like us.
Thank you very much.
Just a little
Briefly, yeah.
addition. AIs are designed to provide information based on context. And in a situation just like Professor Rashida has said, we need to take into cognizance our peculiarities. So with this, it can never be a replacement for human judgment. Our scholars are there, so it only gives you what it has. So in a situation where it is not contextualized to a particular setting, it will ultimately give a result that doesn't fit, is not fit for purpose. So we need to be very careful on our reliance with AI, especially generative AI, in giving fatwa, because it can never be a replacement. And for this, we have to be very careful and then take ownership of the process. Otherwise, we will end up having information that are not fit for purpose, and it will not meet the expectation of our society and our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Due to time, unfortunately, we have to stop here. I have some more questions, but I'm told that because of time, we cannot continue. We have to cut short and open the floor for the audience to ask questions. However, I would like to add that it is clear from the response that we got from the panelists that the generative AI should not be relied upon 100%, should not be relied upon. So it is our duty as parents, as teachers, as mentors, to draw the attention of our children, our students, because students now rely fully on these tools. You give assignment, they just put the question on those tools and they generate, and then they just submit. And the moment you look at it, you know that this is generated, and the research is no longer taking place. They no longer engage their brains, and they just submit. And even if you ask them what is on the paper they are submitting, they don't know. So please, it is our duty to really draw the attention of the younger generation to know that this is not as accurate and as all-encompassing as they think. At this point, we'll open the floor for questions. 2 questions only, I am told. One from a male and one from a female. Excuse me, somebody is there.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So for me, the concern of AI has mostly been around safety and the governance of AI. Because I think no matter how we look at it, anything that has to do with knowledge and the future of Muslims should take the lead. So my question is very simple. Amir, my name is Amir. My question is very simple. I discovered that most of the conversations we've had and
No question, please.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saadat Abdulwasiu, and my question is, if AI can generate a convincing but incorrect information, how do users verify its accuracy before acting on it?
Naam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Maybe if I start by responding to the brother. The answer to your concern, I want to believe, is embedded in our statement saying that AI is never a replacement of human being. And the hallucination proverb has been, hammering on. You have to have some level of knowledge to understand that this textual evidence being given by the AI is authenticated. Of course, for Quran, it will be very difficult for anyone to intrude, to fabricate something. But for the science of hadith, I understand your concern. Even without AI, many people are summoning courage to fabricate hadith, or to cite reference with hadith that are not authentic. So what of now that we have the existence of AI, the need for us to be even more careful? So when you have required level of knowledge, you should be able to identify and be careful. Some AI are very funny. They will even give you a hadith with the name of the book and the number, hadith number. So if you are that lazy that you cannot triangulate, we have a concept in IET we keep propagating. It is one thing to trust, but it is another thing very important to verify. So trust, but verify. If we keep this, I want to believe it will limit the rate at which we over-rely on AI, and only for us to end up with, wrong informations. In connection to the question raised by sister, how do we identify fake, informations as being generated by? I want to believe Prof will say much about that.
Thank you. I think it's important that we establish one of the major problems we have, and I think it even goes back to the question Amir raised earlier on, and maybe also to answer her question, and to imagine today that more than 80% of the data that is used to develop or to provide all those responses you get on the internet are generated from the global north. That's those developed countries. And so essentially most of the information will not be a reflection of the generalized community. And so those are some of the tasks that we cannot leave others to do for us. We need to think about how can we develop some sort of AI system that will be a reflection of how hadiths were verified. And so it will also be a source of a system that we can also use to verify a lot of Islamic positions that will be available on the internet, because it's built on a system that has been in existence for several years and upon which a lot of people believe provides us with a safeguard for a lot of the hadith in terms of how we can identify information. And so that's why one of the first, it's very important that whatever you're prompting an AI to provide for you, it's important that you should have some basic knowledge about what you are asking an AI to give, because that's the first point. If you don't have any knowledge, if you ask an AI system differentiate this or integrate, and you don't know any principle of any answer it gives you, you think is correct. So you also need to have some fundamental knowledge about what you are doing, and a lot of times it provides you some in now most times you can get answers or responses based on, and yet again the response you get and the quality of response you get will be dependent on the quality of your prompt. Most times people just ask AI systems as if they are asking Google, because you need to prompt properly to get and any information you get, please double check, because that's even what we are enjoined to do in Surah Al-Hujurat, that any information you get, even though they say fasikun, but any information you get, you need to be able to verify it before using it or passing it on.
Thank you. Please let him address the question.
Just for the sister, any fatwa that you see or you get from AI or whatever, you need to cross-check with established scholarship. We have a whole body of scholarship that you need to cross-check with. Don't accept it hook, line, and sinker. There is established consistency with established scholarship. You need to check that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the panelists, unfortunately, there is no time for me to ask you to give closing remarks. We say thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.